Hello everyone. This is another video to help you out with case study number 2. I want to show you, I'm going to create a simple line graph in this video to show the sales over the years. So I'm going to start with I'm going to make sure, so I'm assuming that I've already imported all of the tables, I've already made the joins, and I have all of these tables at my disposal. So I'm going to take and look at the sales over time. One thing I notice in the transactions table, though, if you look at the transaction type, I'm going to put that into, I'll put it under filters. There's two different types, O and S. I believe O stands for purchases and S stands for sales. So if I want to look at sales alone, I got to make sure I only look at the sales. Okay. And you also, if you take a look at the subtotal value, there's some negative values there. So that probably means there's a net return. There are some return values there. So if I want just the total sales, right? So then I probably just want to look at any non-zero transaction, any non-negative transaction, and also the code has to also be S, right? So there's multiple ways to do this. I'm going to create a simple calculated field. So I'm just going to right-click somewhere here and create a calculated field. Okay, and I'm going to make my calculated field. I'm going to call this sales. Okay, and I'm going to put in the equation to calculate the sales for me. And the idea behind this is once I have this field set up, I can just drag this field directly or this measure directly into my sheet, and everything will just populate automatically. So if I want just the pure sales, I'm going to create a simple if statement. So if, let's say transaction, transaction type has to equal S, okay, so it has to equal S, okay, and it also has to be non-negative, so let's see, subtotal has to be non-negative, so it has to be greater than 0. Okay, then I'll just skip a line so it's easier to see. Then my TR, let's see, I'm going to just select it, subtotal, end. Okay, so let me explain this if statement. If my transaction type is S and the subtotal value is non-negative, then I'm going to just output that value. So if it's not, I'm only including the ones that are S. If it's an O, it's going to not account for it. It's because it's going to be basically, it's not going to output that value. And if it's a negative value, it'll still not output that value. So I'm going to say apply, say OK. And now I have the sales measure. I'm going to drag the sales measure into my rows. And then I'm also going to drag in the transaction date. Automatically, it should populate to years. And this should tell me the sales year over year. Okay, I feel like there's a problem here though. Let's see here what's going on. Okay, so the result I have here now is the aggregated sum of the sales year by year. So I probably don't want to view this. This just shows me what the total is. So if I hover over this, this is a total sales from 1 year, 2012 to 2013, etc. So I mean, obviously there's a positive trend. I probably don't want to look at it yearly on a year scale. Probably want to look at it maybe on a monthly scale. So I'm gonna click this drop down on this pill and then go down to month. Okay, and then now this shows you the trend across different months of the year from 2012 all the way to December 2015. Okay, so I can also then add a trend line to this. I can just right click and then I'm going to do trend lines and then show trend lines. And I'll just click on the main trend line here, the linear trend line there. So yeah, it shows you there's a positive trend. If you hover over, it even tells you the R-square value and the equation of that line, the slope and the intercept. So this should be the sales graph for your case study, the raw sales, not the net sales. It's not accounting for the returns, but just actual sales, non-negative values. A month-to-month difference for the entire the span of that data set. Okay, so this should be kind of a sanity check for you. If you can't create this, then there's probably something wrong in the way you import the data, or there's some other issues. So this should serve as a good sanity check as you're proceeding. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.